I don't care about what you're talking about, bro.
I know you don't because you're the new generation. You can't afford my time. You're a little boy compared to what I grew up in. I grew up in Hollywood, Florida. My grandfather owned that corner. I grew up in Grosse Pointe, okay? On Yorkshire Street, 2 houses off Jefferson. Where do you live?
So I guess the question is, from this snippet right here, does this give you a hint of racism at all?
Yeah.
Why?
Like that man is acting like he's better than that other man when he doesn't seem like he even knows him.
Can we say that sometimes people are just buttholes? It doesn't matter what color the other person is. And I think most people, especially most black people, jump to the conclusion that this white guy is acting very racist towards this black guy. Most black people probably feel like right off the bat, that guy's being racist.
Just because he seems like he's acting like he's better.
Privileged or
he
racist?
Could be, if the black guy was a female instead,
okay.
White, any color, yeah. Asian, whatever, the way that he's talking, it's just like he's talking down to him. And why? What are you trying to prove?
So the background from this is that the guy was in there and he was filming like a video. And he was speaking probably just a little loud. But instead of the guy asking him, if he could be quiet, he basically just lashed out at him. The black guy was like, there's a way that you say stuff to people versus just lashing out at people.
Kind of like the lady up the road with the coming over to tell you your music's too loud.
Yeah. White people tend to tell black people what to do a lot, but try to at least.
I can smell the alcohol on your breath. So
I just got done drinking scotch.
I care about
you want to overtalk? You want to be a cool man?
Look at him.
I was a consultant at Delphi, EDS, Ford Motor Company, General Motors, CBCC.
So it sounds like right now he's interviewing for a job. So he's giving all his credentials right now.
He's reading his resume.
How about that?
Anything else?
Fucking crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going back home to Florida next week. Been in New Jersey 4 months, business consultant.
Oh.
This dude is a nut job.
He's gonna start talking about his boats and his cars next.
But this dude's a nut job. He went from yelling to like, just vacation down there in
Florida. Yeah, I'm a snowbird because I got 2 houses. That's how I roll.
I really wonder if that was him trying to pull it together because he said that he was drunk. He got me there. I am a little drunk.
I told you my family.
Go ahead, keep going.
I told you where I'm from and where I live.
What else?
This is what else. A double.
And this is before K, ladies and gentlemen.
How about a triple? If this were the 80s, I'd invite you outside, but it's not.
And I'd beat your ass, too.
Oh, I know, because you're a kung fu. You do kung fu, too, don't you? Right.
So I'm going from now to him being racist to him being
crazy,
either crazy or drunk.
He's crazy.
How much weight do you put on things like this? I know black people sometimes be like, this is extremely racist, but I put it almost like this. Would you argue with a child? Mentally, this guy is not really all there. And I mean, even if he was saying some racist stuff, like how much weight do you put in that? Like if I'm in that position and this guy is doing all that, and it sounds like the black guy that, he was talking to evidently has some money, because I think if you looked at the picture, he was driving the Porsche out there. Would you want to physically do something to someone like that when you know that you probably could, beat them up, but then you would get some type of charges, and he's actually provoking you to try to do and act the way that he thinks that you ought to act. And so why give into that? I know some black people would be like, well, he deserves it. Yeah, look, he probably does deserve it. But at the same time, what does that do for you to doing that? Because you get the cops called on you. You look silly in front of everyone else because you honestly beat up this.
The black guy probably has more to lose than the white guy.
Yeah.
Usually the people who talk like that, he probably has a lot, but he probably has a lot of debt.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that he probably has a lot. I think he probably came from a family that did have some money back in the day. And he's probably like he's probably 3rd generation and probably like the black sheep of the family. I think also in a portion of the video, he said, there's the people that know me, they're going to see this online and they're going to just be laughing at me because you're a dumbass. They know that you're a dumbass. And so the people that that will see you online are going to laugh at it. They know that you're a dumbass. That's Bob out there being a dumbass again, So how much weight do you put in that?
The thing that y'all gonna have to remember is you gotta keep your cool. You can't let these old men, especially the ones that feel privileged, right? You can't let them push you off your square. But more importantly, I also want to convey to y'all that everybody that look like him is not like him.
I think that's a good point, because I understand what he's saying. He's saying that all white people are not like him. we'll take an instance like that and we'll group all white people into that instance. And then white people sometimes will take an instance with a black person and group all black people into that instance. Listen, there are some stupid people. I would say, even if there was a young, 20-some-year-old white kid in there and he was on the phone, he would probably have kind of the same reactions like punk. Because I will say this, other than the boy reference, there were no slurs, there were nothing like that. And so I think the guy just felt like he was privileged. I think he just felt like that he was better than probably everyone, including the white people that were serving him food on the other side, probably better than everyone in there. And then if he is racist, who cares? Like, what position is he in to, affect that guy's life, other than if he'd knocked him out? If the black guy would have knocked him out, then we'd have been talking about something else. At that point in time, he'd have had something on the black guy. Do you think this is racist?
I mean, there might be a little race there, but I don't think that was his intent. I think that he was clearly drinking, and I think he might have just been a little crazy. And I think he got himself all riled up. And once he got going, he just couldn't stop, because, like, how do you just stop something like that? You've already made a fool out of yourself, so just take it to the finish line.
Some people are just dumbasses, no matter who it is. He could have been a black person, it could have been a white person.
It's kind of like if you've ever been married, like, or in a relationship for a while. Mm-hmm. It's like when your day's going good, but then you say something to your wife or your significant other, and it just, it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back, and she just goes back, and she starts going back 5 years, 10 years, just on a rant. Yeah. But it's the same thing. It's like you say something, and then you're like, you realize that it was stupid, but now you started something. You can't just stop. You have to just keep going and just finish it out, and then just walk away.
He was more common than anything for me. He's like, "Oh, you're a kung fu master now."
He was mostly just bragging. He was talking about himself,
trying to
his family. His jobs he worked at, the houses that he has.
That he probably lost. He probably lost the jobs that he was at, or the consultant jobs. The consulting jobs he was at, he probably lost because of drinking. The house he probably lost because of drinking. He's probably down there by himself without anyone with him because of drinking.
To visit his parents in Florida.
Some things that are looked at as being racist, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see it that way. I just see sometimes. I really just see dumbass people sometimes.
Yeah.
So.